am not about those safe, fluffy, lovey towers. I am only a fan of deadly towers. Yeah, you know. Published by Bruderbund, developed by Tamtex, you know, in case you ever heard of them. I think I accidentally put in a password that I didn't want to put into. I don't know if it would have made a difference, but, you know, we'll just push the start button. Oh yeah, look at this. You get all sorts of different options. Well, I'll tell you what, I was gonna put in nothing, because I've never played this game. This game is notorious, hated by many, but I have heard the occasional, how do I put it, sympathies made for the game. The occasional scenario where somebody will say, yeah, sure, it's bad, but is it only bad? Good question. So, I guess we'll find out a little bit here for ourselves here. Alright, we got some closed off gates here, so I would suppose that the only direction left for us to go would of course be the one open door. So here we go. Now, more than anything, what I've heard about this game is that it is cryptic. In the, you know, Legend of Zelda kind of way, where you just kind of get lost. Except, you know, Legend of Zelda has a good reputation, this one doesn't. Oh gosh. And, you know, you also got that issue where enemies do quite a bit of damage. Just turn around and get them before it can get you, you know? If you're taking too much damage, you just have to improve. You know? Be a better gamer. Just like Day 9 would want you to be. Come on now, bat. I'm not sure if it's even worth my time trying to eliminate the bat, so maybe I'll just continue. We're already down to 26 hit points out of 100. Oh, well, no, this is where we came from. Yes, I've heard this too, that one of the biggest issues with Deadly Towers is that enemies respawn every time you go through a door, and they oftentimes respawn... Interesting. Okay, we're dead. That's fine. And they oftentimes respawn as you're making a transition, which of course does not help. I'm assuming that that is just, you know, a cached save of where we were. Not like we got anything to save. Okay. Looking at this here, we do have a little status screen here. Looks like you got defense and attack stats. I must say immediately, although I already know many of the grievances about this game, including that right there, it appears to have some ambitions. And I can appreciate an older game with said ambitions, even if it kind of doesn't nail it all the time. Okay, he's forever destroyed the goo, but that's fine. Oh, what was that? Like, I would rather play a game that tries to be something amazing and doesn't quite succeed than a game that just tries to be average and does an okay job of being average. You know, I like to see some risks. And so far, Deadly Towers seems a little risky. There we go. You get closer, you can throw your little daggers into them faster. That's no good right there. It's okay. I think we can just stun block him. Yeah, look at that. All right. Big old Dargan, done. Let's see what he was guarding. Another room. Yeah, this is frequently the most disliked thing about Deadly Towers is the fact that you just meander endlessly. However, we did get an HP upgrade. I can assume that thanks to the power of the mighty password system that will be persistent. You want to take down the blobs just because, you know, you may get some health from them. Immediately, I don't hate what I'm seeing. Despite the reputation that the game has garnered itself. I think it might be less that the game is legitimately terrible, and more that so many people have called it terrible that now it's just kind of the thing to do. When all your friends call Deadly Towers terrible, and you're like, oh yeah, it is terrible, even if you were the one kid who got it and actually really liked it, but you're like, oh, all my friends hate it, that must mean it's bad. It sucks. I just decided now it's bad. I don't like those enemies, though. Okay. Didn't get annihilated by that. Will this thing die? That's a good question. Maybe if we stay here for the entire hour... Oh. That's no good. Your password, good sir. Thank you. And yes, it does... That's wonderful, actually, that it automatically throws in that password. That's a quality of life function that you wouldn't expect from a game this... what do we say? Maligned. There we go. Now, what do the L's do? Lutter. Okay, it must be Lutter. We have 51 Lutter. Oh, wait, 50. Okay, yeah. That's what that is. That's Lutter. It doesn't tell me what it is. It just... Like, I don't know what the purpose of it is. Ooh. Alright, so... Definitely. Falling off the side of the castle does instantly kill you. That's a little deadly. So you want to avoid that, if at all possible. I know, shocker. You want to avoid dying. Oh my gosh, whoo! You can really get bopped around and get completely killed immediately, which I'm sure is something that continually turns people off when it comes to this game. There we go. Now we got 110. Look at that. We're in business. That little... We got him. Do we keep our Lutter? Yes, we're at 55 Lutter now, so we do in fact need to maintain our wealth. I also have to say, I don't know if this is something that people hate about this game or not, but ooh, what do we got here? I don't have enough for this hood thing, which is, you know, a little unfortunate, but I did buy that. Red drink. I'm assuming it's an HP replenishment thing, which might be, you know, mildly disappointing because I assume it's a one-time use. But another thing I do like, the perspective in this game is actually really kind of cool. You're kind of isometric, what have you. Really gives that illusion of, you know, a 3D space. Oh, come on now. Walking through the doors, it's a little clumsy. Doesn't always necessarily work. Just get those little dragons out of the way when you can. You don't want them. You do want health, so I'll thank you for that. Let's just go through this door, you know. Oh, look at that! It's another HP upgrade. That's a good feeling right there. Even though, you know, when you start the game, you don't start at full health, so you still gotta kind of work your way back up. Improves your cap, but does not necessarily increase your floor. So if you're a fan of ceilings, and you just hate floors, Deadly Towers is the game for you. Someone's gotta be the target audience for this, you know? And I don't know, for all I know, perhaps more of the frustration with Deadly Towers comes in the form of when you're trying to actually beat the game. If I'm just sitting here and playing it for an hour, maybe I'll say that wasn't so bad. Maybe if I were to sit down with an actual cartridge and say I'm gonna beat it, well then maybe I'd go, what's wrong here? Okay, we found some snakes. Oh, that's no good. Now these are gonna respawn immediately. Yep. I've been made aware of that. Ooh, what? Okay, that thing annihilated us, for sure. It's alright. It's continue. And of course, nobody likes being thrown right back to the very, 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 very tippy beginning. It's the tippy beginning. It's okay. We'll do what we can. It's all we can do. Can't do what I can't. How much, we have 61 lutter. It's enough for that pipe thing in the secret shop, but I might not need it yet. Oh, it stacks! We're able to just come right here and grab yet another one. But of course, when you start at 100 hit points, and it doesn't really put you up to 130, it loses a little bit of its allure that way. That said, I would love to get some hit point pickups, get myself a little bit further to my current ceiling. Love that, like almost a revving sound of when you get closer and closer to one while you're holding down that turbo button. Oh, well, no, we can't get that. Can't get that. Okay, now we're back here. Okay, this... yes, okay, this is kind of... That's where things get really dicey. Alright, I'm remembering now. I'm trying to remember all the criticisms that this game gets and be like, when do they come in? What was the worst part again? That is definitely not something that's going to endear players to you. Just telling you right now, Mr. Deadly Tower. Doesn't matter how many times you can keep recycling the HP upgrade. Wait, can we use the red drink? Actually, it might be a waste to use the red drink here. I just want to see them. Oh, we don't even need to keep it, apparently. Well, I never... Yeah, you got bullet sponge enemies, but hey, those exist to this day in gaming, you know? Okay, so that's your best bet is to just kind of run away from that thing entirely. This one we can beat up, though. Hey, thanks for the lutter. Okay, there we go. You just wander, man. Not gonna guarantee it'll get you anywhere productive. But at the moment, it's all you can do. Music's getting a little more hype. Whole pile of lutter there. What a name for a currency. What should we call the gold in this game? I don't know, lutter. You want to run that by me again? Big spooky snake man? I was gonna say, let's destroy some of that fire to see if we can get more health, but no, we just got hit and then didn't get more health. Okay, how much lutter do I have? 52! You've been brought down to the world of poor men. I'm beginning to see. Now the ire that Deadly Towers draws. But I'm still not prepared to say it's one of the worst ever, because again, it's got some charm to it. There's some games that are just bad and don't have any charm to them. Those are the ones that you really want to save your hatred for. Come at me. Yeah! So what, do I just want to like save up lutter? No! Okay, almost hit the big one right there. We have 61. We need 80 for the helmet thing in the secret shop. Go. Thank you. It's kind of hard to, aim at enemies too with the perspective being the way it is. Yeah, got him. Give me all your lutter. That's lutter. There we go. Not enough. Give me more. I cannot be satiated. I have a desire for wealth. And you slime puddles are the only thing that'll get me there. We can just go back down here, respawn some of these enemies. Sometimes you just gotta do a little bit of grinding if you're gonna make a little bit of progress. For all I know, the helmet thing in the shop isn't gonna do anything for me, but you gotta try, right? Where are we at? 72. See, we're getting close. So I just want him out of here because he's kind of gnarly as an enemy, He can chunk you for a good solid amount of health. You don't want to get chunked. Where we at? 73. It's slow moving, But you don't play Deadly Towers because you want to have a nice leisurely time. You play Deadly Towers because you need a second job. It's the EVE Online of the NES. I shouldn't complain, be all like, wow, I got hit by something because I stood in one spot. Nice. Real great game. It's my own fault. You just respawn these enemies. These are the easiest to get. Yeah, these ones are a little spongy, but you get real fast there. 79, we need one more lutter. This guy's gonna be screaming about lutter. Where did it all go wrong? Alright, give you something nice. Sir, I'd like your finest hat. Alright, we have it. The chain helmet. Okay, we have put it on. So our defense has gone up. Will we get to keep it if we die? Oh, that has yet to be seen. Please, yeah, no. Don't feel obligated to go back down. I mean, I'm sure that you want some nice wacky tobacco, but and a little bit of death. Just a little bit of death on a Sunday morning. It's not Sunday, it's Friday night. That's our password. Hey, we already know it's going to put it in for us. The game's a bro. We still have the chain helmets. So okay, that's good. And by that I mean it's the bare minimum that I would expect of a game that has a basic equipment mechanic. So really, once you buy something, you're almost better off just dying to get back to that 50 lutter point. Yeah. Just give me more of this. Give me more of that. As long as it's just free infinite HP upgrades. I'm for it. Oh, yeah. Especially if you want to actually drop the health. That's just the bonus of this game. In the world. Very well. I can't stop you from spawn camping me. Alright, could use some health. I wanna be a bother to you, game, but if you could... It will spare nothing. It will spare nothing for you, sir. Alright. Okay, so that is in fact water. I was mildly curious. So let's just go like a totally different direction, right? a lot of damage from that thing. We took a lot of damage from this boy, too. And we were only able to pick up one of those hearts thanks to the game's transitionary system. Yet another... Oh, okay. I have an idea. I have an idea here, and this will potentially confirm a couple different things for us here. Of course, the funniest part about these passworded games is you could literally just find a password online that has everything unlocked and make it not trivial, but much easier. But, you know, you'd only do that if you really don't want to experience any of the game for yourself, right? At that point, watch a Let's Play, man. Now, I'd like to see. Sir, I'd like your finest red drink. Your tastiest red beverage, please. Thank you, thank you. Now, if we drink this, man, it's not even that good. Like 50 hit points and that's it. I was expecting like at least a full heal or something. I know. I shouldn't be so disappointed, but oh, NC, then you just die immediately anyway. Okay. Understandable. Have a nice day. Well, then let's just avoid all that. Let's just, come on. Let's just get hit by a bat, right? We still have our chain helmet? We do. Okay. I don't know. I'm at the point where I almost don't trust the game. I'm like, I feel like you're just gonna steal my chain helmet away from me for no reason. Maybe due to a fault in the password system. I have no proof, but, you can bet that I've got my suspicions. When you just get as close as possible. It's just static. It's just white noise as you destroy your enemies. I am really curious as to whether this is a vital place or not, because it seems like, you know, it's in one of those fabled secret tiles. Okay. This whole time I was thinking that would have had you just leave. But no, you're stuck in here. You just gotta find your way out of the labyrinth, or die trying. You're probably gonna die. I don't want to be negative, but I mean, look at the game you're playing. You run into bats, yo. Look at that password. So, yes, as a child in the 80s, if you were to have this game, you could spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours just trying to get through that labyrinth and probably never find anything that you were looking for. And that might lead to some ire later on down the road. A little bit of post-traumatic stress disorder when you hear the words Deadly Towers. Fine, I'll take the water. Better than nothing, I guess. And we'll go here. We'll just take some damage. We'll get spawn killed. That is definitely the biggest problem. You give just a little bit of invincibility when you're first going through a door. Maybe quite a bit of this game could be fixed. Patched up a little bit just with that one little piece of tender love and care. This bat, I was gonna say, it's going for me, and it finally got me. Bat gets what bat wants. Nothing up there. Okay, so I have an idea of a route I have not attempted yet. So we go this way. And instead of going up to where the Dargan's at, we go down. It's another HP upgrade. Wonderful. If only we could actually, you know, see the effects. We're never gonna get that high. We're never gonna make it to 190 hit points. I died because I got greedy trying to kill a ball. May that be a cautionary tale for all of you. Here's another attempt at glory. Or at least an attempt at finding something that we haven't seen yet. Oh! That's just taking a whole lot of damage from the ball. That's nothing that you want to get too familiar with. We have been slain by the dragon. What an unfortunate way of living. How many times have we seen this opening screen, huh? Clearly the bat doesn't want any. It has backed off. I forgot that I don't have to go that direction to get to where I'm trying to go. Yeah, just give me the money, I guess. Just kill the bat, I guess. Every little bit of health I can get. Clearly this chain helm is not the sole defender of your life that you may hope for. No health dropped by him that time. It's stingy. You know, it's really the only word that there is for it. It's just stingy. Oh, come on. A lot of knockback when you get damaged. That's a little counterintuitive when you're trying to actually get something done. Can't lie. Oh, no, then we get bumped right off. I want to know what's to the far right there. There's got to be something at the end of that little hall, you know? I'm thinking it's maybe a better route to go than that little secret labyrinth. Because the labyrinth, I just feel like it's going to be tears every time you attempt it. Okay, let's not waste any time here, right? Let's just move on. That's minimal damage. I can deal with that. So that's a lot of damage. Okay. The game's faults become more and more glaring the more you play it. What can you expect from a company like Temtex? Is that what they were? See, I already forgot their name. If you've never heard of them, there's a reason for that. I'm guessing they did not develop much beyond this. Probably have, you know, a couple other games. No need to be entirely moving on. There we go, 69 hit points. We cannot be stopped at this point now. Cannot, put a little bit of a stupid accent there when you didn't need to be one. It was not intentional. Neither is me dying. Good lord. You need nerves of steel to conquer deadly towers. We have nerves of balsa wood, so it's an issue. That's not true. If I had nerves of balsa wood, I never would have beaten Zelda 2. I'm made of stronger stuff than that. Give me something. Okay. Some money I don't think I need. Can't be too upset, right? You can be upset by all of this, though. By all means. Express your disdain for the labyrinth. You really do just walk into a room and you're dead. It's a coin flip as to whether you take damage or not. That's astounding, honestly. The most bold game design choice I myself have ever seen in my 27, almost 28 years on this earth. Yeah, you like that? I'm 28 years old. I'm still like... I'm 27 years old. I'm still like... I'm almost 28. Like a friggin' 7-year-old. They're like, I'm 7 and a half. It's like, well, excuse me, little missy. Sorry for not heralding you as the wise sage of the playground. May all the other children bow their heads to witness your infinite wisdom. All the other video games find solace in the fact that they're probably a bit better than this. I'm still not at the point where I'm willing to say this is like the worst game of all time or anything. But, you know, on the general quality scale, it's definitely living on the bottom 50%, you know? It's not going to take home any major awards. In terms of scope and ambition, my hat is off to it. It tries some neat little things. Again, I do like the perspective. It's kind of cool. But everything else kind of spoils it, you know? One bee in the honey spoils the soup. I believe that's what they say. It's what they would say if nothing they said made any sense. Who is they? Don't know. We're dead again. Strong life pro tip. If you're on the internet and you're reading some kind of conspiracy theory and the only information that you can get is the word they, if there's nobody being explicitly called out, that compounded with if the theory does not give you any kind of explicit instructions on what needs to be done to resolve the situation that it's proposing, there's a good chance that you're reading nonsense. I'm not going to name any specific conspiracies. I will just say, if the author of said theory has no lateral movement for you to participate in, if they have no way to say, here, this is how it's solved, or this is what I propose, it's highly likely that it is an imaginative, creative fanfiction. I think that's a very, very vital thing when discussing conspiracies, is a degree of skepticism is very much required. Hey, it's a new screen. That's nice. I say nice, but who knows? Maybe this will be the new worst thing that we've ever witnessed. Oh, no, this is not new. We have actually been here. These unkillable things. At least I'm pretty sure that they're unkillable. I'll just go the other direction, because I haven't gone left here. Little itty-bitty lizard dragon man. I have no quarrel with you. I'll let you live in peace if you can learn to just let me be as well. I have a feeling that that's not going to work out for him, though. These are video game enemies. They don't care about parlaying. They don't care about a reasonable compromise. They just want you to die. The fireballs are kind of the worst ever. That's where I'm feeling. That's where I'm feeling. You heard me right. Look at that, 10 whole hit points. You don't see that every day. Usually you're just like looking down the barrel of, I don't know, 70 points of damage casually. Everything we've worked for, gone, just like that. Dragon Man, pleasure seeing you again. You just gotta start firing immediately. Don't even give him a second. Did we just get juggled? It looked like we just got juggled. Like, considerably so. Popping balls all day, man. That's all I'm doing here. Alright, very cute, very cute. We're back to where we got decimated before. Get rid of this ball. Yes, we should just be able to walk our way around this and go through this door. We're greeted with more balls and more flames. you know, they had to spare some expense when it came to the art design. They couldn't afford the #1 monster designer in the world, so they just had to kind of go with basic geometry for the most part. It's fine. I understand. What do we got here? Oh! I thought it was a nice little friendly dude that we could save, but no, he dealt a considerable amount of damage to me. How vile. We got 6 Lutter. Did he take all of our Lutter too? Is that part of his deal? Because he seems like kind of a garbage human being. I doubt he's even human. There you go. Can't imagine that without a turbo button. God bless turbo. And again, it ain't cheating. The NES Advantage, an official NES controller, it's got turbo. As long as you don't mind playing all your NES games with an arcade stick instead of a D-pad, which some people actually do prefer. I guess if you're playing one of the older arcade-style games, it would be natural. Okay. Don't like those little magic blurbs there. Oh, no. Okay. I've resigned myself to a terrible fate. You just immediately start moving. Yeah, there you go. I wish I had some Lutter, because you look like you've got some nice stuff here, honestly. If that's the sword upgrade, it's something I would very much love to have. Unfortunately, I live in a realm of being poor. I suppose you could just farm snakes for the rest of your days until you have 100 Lutter, but that's, you know, that kind of goes at odds with the whole concept of trying to create an hour of mildly enticing content. Okay. I'm seeing the consistencies in the maze. At least there are consistencies. We're gonna die. Don't panic. Just kill them. There we go. 14 hit points. It's all you need. You can beat the whole game with 14 hit points. More scorpions. Okay, so this way's kind of a dead end, as it were. Yeah, you know, I'd love to. I really would. I'm sure you have some very lovely wares. I'm sure your family is counting on you to sell me whatever scam swords you're trying to sell me. And then you're just right back to here. All roads seem to point to labyrinths. So I'm gonna guess that at this point I'm better off going for the closer labyrinth instead of, you know, trekking all that way to retry that one over and over. Because I'm starting to think less and less that they're optional. Excuse me. There we go. It was having a hard time letting me come into the stream all the way. Whatever. We'll just walk past them. You don't need to bother them. They don't need to bother me. We can live separate lives here. Gotta be on that trigger finger real fast. There we go. We destroyed that thing before it had the chance to take a major bite out of us. Look at that. 130 over 200. Healthiest I've ever been. Got my cholesterol under control. Sitting at a lean, only 78% body fat. Well, if it isn't Garfield and his brother, easy prey for me. Oh well, if it isn't Grimace's head. We could actually maybe get to the point where we could afford that shield. And it might actually even be within our best interest. Okay, well, even if that thing does drop Lutter, we can't pick it up. So I guess we'll just continue to kill Garfield and his boy. Maybe they're the cheetah men. Make sure that they're at the point where you can pick up what they're dropping though. Yeah, there we go. That's some Lutter. Drop at least. At least something. really sucks. Once you throw a dagger, if you miss it, you gotta go back to the very... you gotta wait until it goes off screen, is what I'm trying to say, until you can attack again. So you're left a little... just a little... vulnerable. That's the word. Well, that's uncalled for. Just about every way. Okay, 8 more. Can I survive the Garfield room long enough to just get 8 more Lutter? Well, they didn't drop anything that time, so that's not going to help you out very much. But I would indeed love a shield, even if all it does is just reduce the maximum amount of damage that we take. 2 more. 2 more. We're close. We're close. I thought for sure he was gonna like snipe me. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling a little spooked, honestly. A little nervous. Okay, there's that one last piece that we needed. Let's buy ourselves a shield. Thank you. All right, we got a helmet and a shield. Obviously, you know, it would be too much effort to include that on the character sprite, but we have it at this point. I'm not just gonna, well, I guess I will just face tank some damage. We still had 34 hit points and instantly died just due to touching Garfield. He really, really, truly does hate Mondays. But again, it's a Friday. Maybe I save up for the weird, like, tobacco pipe thing in the store. You may as well at least try, right? Even if you're not sure what it does. It's something you don't yet have, so give it a go. I believe we'll need 60 Lutter for it, so not that much more. You know, just kill a couple more blobs. Kill a couple more slinkies. You know better. I just need 2, please. Or I'll die. That's an option too. But at this point, it'd be very easy to look at this gameplay and say, you're bad at this game. I would say probably everybody is bad at this game. It's not a game that was designed to where you could perform well. It's a game whose entire purpose is to make everybody look like a chump, regardless of creed or background. And if that ain't just a picture of equality, well, I don't know what is. Thank you, Brooder Bunny, for this exceptionally humbling experience. A world where no one is a pro gamer because we're all bad. Well, excuse you, little Zoom Dragon Man. That's 1 Lutter and all of the killing that we've done. Give me your money, bad guys. Look at that. Bats carrying coins. Who would have thought? I told you this was a true fantasy experience. Likes of which we have not seen ever before and will not see again until the blockbuster Tide Live. We're 7 off because just refuses to give us a 5 Lutter coin. All I ask is a nickel. Or heck, a dime at the very start of the game, you know? Just let me... Give me what I want, game. A penny. Thank you. Wow. Another penny. Hey, it adds up. If I can get a penny every drop, then I'll have my dank pipe in no time. See, look at that. We're already up to 53. That's economics, man. You'd think we'd have learned at this point to no longer stand there, because it's pretty much guaranteed instant death, honestly. You would think we would learn. But nah, learning's for chumps! Stay in school, more like don't stay in school. I'm not even upset about that. I got so greedy just for a marginally quicker kill. And I paid for it with my life. That is, however, a good presentation on the importance of iframes in video games. We've had some iframes, we've gotten out of that alive. Yeah. We don't need the little dragon lizard boys to stay alive. We don't need to go faster than this. One Lutter, it's fine. We're already up to 57. Look at that. It's all luck. Don't go over there. Don't go over there until you're actually ready to come into the shop. But when it comes to Deadly Towers, I wouldn't blame anybody for having commitment issues. That's fine. We're still at a nice palmy 96 hit points. We have enough water. Look at that. Should have paid attention earlier. Please. Please. Thank you. Please. We'll kill the ball. Fine. Have it your way. Now, what is this pipe? Oh, it's fire magic. I've used it. I hope I didn't just waste something. I probably just wasted it. Well, we have learned nothing. Bell. We have a bell, apparently. Can't select it or anything like that. Well, hey, even learning that an item won't help you is technically information. We did learn something. It was just in the most drawl, upsetting way you've ever seen. Bat, come on, please. We got the real-life Batman here. I had a dream that I was booked for a pro wrestling show, and I was super excited, but then the bookers were like, wait, no, we got something way better for you. And I was like, what's that? And then they brought me to a film producer, and they said, you're going to be Peter Parker in the new Spider-Man. And I was like, yo, but isn't that Tom Holland? They were like, no, it's another new Spider-Man. It's another reboot. I was like, oh, okay, well, wonderful. Sure, I'll play. And I was very, very excited, and I got all hyped up to tell all my friends, and nobody cared. I was like, wow, thanks. Look at those shoes! 232 letter shoes? You gotta be kidding me, man. In this economy? Located entirely within your kitchen? There better be some massive Lutter prizes here for me to fall for that kind of scheme. You want me to buy a pair of $200 shoes? I'm not even a sneakerhead. But what do we have here? The most questionable enemies of all time? Like how you just gotta kind of hope. Actually, wait. Big brain! This is why we get paid the big bucks, we pro gamers, you know? I don't know why I'm clearing this room. Nothing's gonna happen when I clear it. They might drop something that I won't be able to pick up because it'll be on the wall, and that'll be it. Unless, of course, killing these secretly gets you the final boss. Nope, it didn't. It was a whole lot of nothing, as it turns out. Garfield, my boy. Been some time. Wow. You're really just gonna walk into me like that? That is some blatant disrespect, my man. Be cool if it would, you know, respawn you at least in the labyrinth. Just cut down a little bit of time. No, I got places to be, got things to do. Well, I have no places to be, come on. It's 2020, no one's going anywhere. Unless you're going to a special no-mask party to own the libs, dab. Then you come back home and you're like, why am I sick? It must have been because I didn't look at my crystals this morning. Oh, getting into vaguely controversial topics. Watch out. It should not be controversial. And yet here we are. In the most diseased, foul land in the hemisphere. And beyond. Yeah, there's your wild jumpy boys again. You know, just pick a direction. Ooh, the King Garfield. He's a chump. He just dies immediately and then he doesn't even give you anything. Whoa, what do we got here? It's Ganondorf and his Ganon quadruplets. I didn't know this game was in the Legend of Zelda universe. Fascinating. So yeah, if you were to actually sit down with this game and actually try to beat it, I'm gonna tell you, absolutely need a guide. At this point you're saying, what kind of games don't you need a guide for, man? NES games? Anything where you go from left to right. Otherwise, past that, chances are, it is obtuse as hell. By design. Make them, come on now. At least it's an okay little music theme. But it's nothing that is gonna make the intermission GDQ music playlist ever. GDQ? I don't support them. They like women. Sorry, man. Sorry that your rights as a gamer have been so oppressed. But there's no denying. They've got their intermission music playlist on point. A fine assortment of some of the finest video game themes you have ever heard. Who doesn't love the intro of the Yoshi's Island Bowser music? Was it Bowser and Yoshi's Island? I don't know. Maybe fight someone else. I don't remember. Of course it's Bowser. It's always Bowser. Bowser's the only bad guy ever. But if you haven't listened to that, it's a fantastic little intro. The rest of the song's alright too, but the intro is the best thing. As far as SNES music goes, give me some of that all day long. And then I'll just play that little, like, 15 or so second intro on loop. It was just like Welcome to the Jungle. You hear the intro and you're like, oh, this is cool! And then the actual song starts and you're like, what kind of Scooby-Doo ass music is this? Okay. I just want to find my way back to the Ganon boys, you know? Thank you! Okay. Overcoming the bats is the most baddie part of it all, of course. Garfield, I would prefer if you don't walk into me this time like you did last time. Thank you, little boy. I don't know what that was, but we killed it. Oh, come on now. There was no need for that. 57 letters. Not quite enough for the $800 shoes. I don't even know where I'm going anymore. I don't remember where the Ganon boys are. Yeah, I'll take some health. Seems like a fair trade. That seems like honestly a pretty good room to like, grind for health and letters. Like, ah! So I thought. I was gonna say, because if it's relative lack of any real imminent danger, but then, you know, I got completely cornered and annihilated. Deal with the bat boys, the rest will come naturally. Ancient proverb. Thank you for letting me pick that heart up. I was like, please don't be stuck. It's the dwarves! Lally ho there, dwarf friends. Maybe they're giants. I don't know, they're pretty small for giants. We'll just call them dwarves regardless. Excuse me, the preferred nomenclature is little people. Excuse me, I'm referring to the fantasy race dwarf. Get off my case maybe a little bit. Arf. Doesn't gotta be like that, buddy. Well, of all the games that I have played on this channel, this is certainly one of them. Wait, maybe it's not Garfield. Maybe it's Heathcliff. What's worse than Garfield? Dollar store Garfield, and that is Heathcliff. That's not even quite true. Heathcliff doesn't have the same cynicism that Garfield does. You know, Garfield is all about like, John, you're a garbage piece of trash. Nobody loves you, and you'll never get that vet to go on a date with you because you're a miserable, subhuman piece of tripe. And then Heathcliff is all like, hey, I'm Heathcliff. You've never read my comic in your life, and you're never gonna. If you're asking me, what's a Heathcliff? You're proving my point exactly. If you say, hey, I love Heathcliff, I'm going to say, not even understandable. Have a good day regardless. Real dick move, putting that enemy right there so that you pretty much can't avoid it. You can't avoid it, you just gotta really walk in at an angle. It's something, man. It's something. I would like some health, please. Not snakes, although I can understand where you would maybe find the two requests similar and as a result mildly confusing. No, scorpions weren't what I asked for either. Oh, no. I don't even know if that's... I could have messed something up with that password. I don't think I did, though. Yeah, no, I got all my stuff, you know? I'm in the bargaining phase now. I'm like, right? It's not all that bad, is it? But I do wonder, would this feel this bad had you been playing it the day it came out? Or would it be a game where all of its ambition is shown through more than its negatives? I doubt that's the case. But we can muse about it all the same anyway, correct? Sure, let's go north. Let's go east. I'm thinking maybe a little more north. You know, if we ever get out of this hellfire. Oh, it's just a couple scorpions. That's all it is. A couple very orange scorpions to the point where I'm more convinced that they are land crawfish. Oh, thanks for that. Thanks for a nice little pal up on me. Oh no. This is where the shop is. Yeah. The shop where you buy your shield and whatnot, which hasn't really felt like it's done a whole lot to help me, honestly. Can't even get that health there. Look at that. Well, you know what? As far as I'm concerned, that's time. And, yeah, that's exactly 1 hour right there. Sorry that I screwed you out of 5 whole seconds of Deadly Towers. You know, again, it's not the worst game in the world, but it does certainly have some pretty glaring problems. You know. It's okay. Well, it says here it was not the subject of much press in its time and was commercially successful, but has received negative reviews in retrospective critique. So, yeah, okay, looks like back in the day it wasn't that bad. But nowadays, people are disliking a little bit more. It certainly has its problems. There are a few things, if you were to just go in and tweak just a few things, give yourself some iframes, give yourself a moment when you go through doors to be okay, and maybe rework the continue system just a tiny bit, you could have something there. As it is, you just have deadly towers. So, next episode, it's been a while since we played ourselves a sports game. I think since track and field. I don't think anything else in between that counts as sports, unless you really want to count Arkanoid, which I don't. It's not a sport. But tomorrow, we have Konami's Double Dribble, which for all intents and purposes is actually a pretty great little basketball game. So, join me tomorrow for the very first instance of basketball we have seen on the NES. Took it long enough. After all the other sports showed up on day one, basketball comes in a couple years late and says, "Hey, guys, I'm here. Don't worry. I gotcha." So, yeah, Double Dribble tomorrow. As always, thank you so much for watching. Join me next time. All of that. Spread the word. Tweet this video out, and then everyone will ignore it, and it'll be fine. It's okay.